Hey guys, here I am talking about equivalent forms of exponential expressions up here on top. If you notice, this is a new topic or a new quiz. I'm going through here. As I scroll through, I see a lot of them kind of all to be basically set up the same. There are some different ones on there. Again, if you notice, there are quite a few questions that I can see. Khan Academy has around 20 to 30 different ones. You only have to take 4 at a time. But as always, I'm still going to go through some of them over here. The hints are over here on the side if you want to follow along over here. I'm going to take what Khan Academy says and maybe speak it a little bit more into Mr. Dowden talk, something that we're a little more accustomed to. So that is the plan as we go ahead. The goal here for this is to take this equation, 3 to the 2m power times 4 to the 2m power, and to decide, are these three equivalent or not equivalent? We could choose some to be equivalent, some to be not equivalent, all to be equivalent, or all to be not equivalent. So let's get started. Here we are in this problem. So in this problem, we need one of two things to happen. Well, we don't need, but to start, this is where we're at right now. We either need the reds to be the same, which we call the bases, the big numbers, or the blues to be the same, which we call the exponents. In this case, obviously, the blues are the same. Since the blues are the same, we can rewrite this problem as 12 to the 2m. Why is it 12? Simply because 4 times 3 is 12, right? We just got to do the math for what was on the bottom. So we rewrote this as 12 to the 2m. With that being said right there, I'm going to immediately go over to my side and I'm going to say, hey, that is not the same as 12 to the 4m. This is not equivalent. And the reason that it's not equivalent is we'll talk about here in just a second. But before we do that, let's finish with this one. 12 to the 2m is equivalent, obviously, because 12 to the 2m is the same thing I got over here. Let's pick up there then on why isn't 2m equivalent to 4m? Why can't I say that? Because some people are going to say, wait a minute, if I make m equal to 0, 2 times 0 is 0, and 4 times 0 is 0, and 0 is equal to 0, so that does work. So you're going to say, hey, wait a minute, there's a time where it does work. That is true. But all the other times, it doesn't work. And in this case, we don't need one time that it works. We need to prove that it always works. And obviously, if I make m1, 2 times 1 is 2, 4 times 1 is 4, 2 is not equal to 4. So this does not work, which is why I chose not equivalent up here. Let's talk about our last one. And our last one here is this equivalent to 144 to the m power? If you notice, I just rewrote this equation that was in red and blue. I rewrote it as pink and blue to show something. So in this case, right, I'm showing the fact that this is 12 to the 2. Before we had red, big number, and blue, little number, or red is the base and blue as the exponent. I changed that to having pink, one part of the problem, and then blue, a second part of the problem. Notice that the reason I did it is that 2 that was up here as an exponent before is still an exponent. I just want to include it with that 12. And the reason I want to include it with that 12 is, what is 12 squared? Well, 12 squared is 144. So I am just going to simplify this part of the problem. That's still 144. And then I'm still leaving the m as the exponent up here on top. So again, I'm just rewriting that problem now as 144 to the m, which proves over here that that is equivalent.